Hello everyone, today we are going to be starting our looms and weaving on our looms. So your materials that you're going to need today is the loom with the warps already there, your needle, and your thread, which will be your weft. The first thing that we need to do is get this yarn onto our needle. So you're going to do that by just folding the yarn at the end to make a little loop. And it's easier to get this little loop through than it is to try and get the edge of the yarn. That loop came through pretty easy. And then I like to go ahead and just tie my weft onto the needle just so that I don't lose my needle during cleanup. I don't lose it while I'm working. It's just easier to keep up with. Alright, so to actually get started on your weaving today, we need to remember over and under and over and under. I usually like to start under, so you can see that I've placed my needle under this warp, and then it is over the next warp. Under, over, under, over. I don't have the longest needles, so if you pull it through, just remember that this one was under, so now I need to go over, under. It's really important that you're paying attention to whether you're doing over, under. That one's under, next one is over, under. Okay. Now, I like to use both hands to pull it through, so I'm going to the left, I'm pulling with my left hand. My right hand is not applying any pressure, it's just kind of guiding the yarn. And anytime you start a new piece of weft thread, it's important to leave a little tail. So my tail is about 4 fingers wide. And once I have my tail, I can push it up and straighten it out. So leaving my tail, and do not worry about your tails. I will tell you what to do with those later. All right, so when I come back on this loom, my last thread is actually over on top of that one. So now I need to go under. I need to do opposite. So if I end with a thread on top of the last warp, then when I come back, I need to go under. Notice that I am weaving back on the same side that I ended. I am not coming around to over here. If I end on the left, I start on the left. So under, over, under, over, under. Next one should be over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. When I pull through again, I'm pulling towards the right, but I'm using my left hand to kind of guide it, just to keep it from tangling up. Uh-oh. See it trying to tangle up there? And once I don't have very much thread left, I'm going to pull it towards the top of my loom so it kind of makes this bubble shape. And I want to stop my bubble when those touch. So when my warp and my weft touch, I'm going to stop and I'm going to go ahead and push it up. Like so. If I need to tighten it a little bit, that's fine. Here's what I do not want to see. I'm going to show you something kind of bad. So if I keep pulling and I pull, do you see what happened there? My warp, it got pulled over. That's very bad. I don't want that to happen. So you only pull until the weft touches the warp. No further. You do not want to pull your warp out of line. That warp should stay up and down, going straight. Let's go back. So my yarn, my weft thread is on the right. That means I need to come back on the right. It's on top of my warp, so I need to go under. So this thread is over, so my next one should be under. Okay. I want you to watch me pull this through again. This is probably the most important part for actually keeping your weaving looking really nice and even. So again, I'm pulling my thread kind of towards the top, and it's making a little bubble shape here. And I'm going to stop as soon as those threads touch. And I'm doing this slowly. Now, when I pushed it up, I have just a little bit of a loop. I can't leave that because it's not touching anymore. I'm going to pull it so it's just barely touching, nice and straight. And I will continue going back and forth with my thread until I have run out. And that's what we're going to do today.